everybody. Good afternoon. How the heck are you? Welcome to February's Typhoon. I'm your host, Jason T. Smith, and with me today is our Typhoon expert, Juan Garcia. Hello, Juan. How the heck are you?
Hello. How's everybody doing?
What is going on? Welcome to
enjoying the 30-degree weather.
I'm enjoying the 72-degree weather. It's so nice here. So yes, I know it's March 1st, but just due to scheduling, and Juan's got a house full of little kids that he uses as sweat labor to put his Legos together. Today was the day we could do it, and so we're pretending it's a leap year, and today is February 29th. So, excuse me. All right, so yeah, this is something I'm very deficient in, and I will be demonstrating that later. So I thought this would be a fun jumping off point to teach us all about the ins and outs of Legos. Because in talking with Juan, the one thing that struck me as different than a lot of other specialties is people don't ever value their time, and there can be a lot of wasted time. Not wasted time, but time that you have to spend to flip Legos. And if you would factor in the time it took to do what you had to do, then you really didn't make a profit. So that's the pitfall that you got to be aware of. And with that, I'll hand it over to Juan. Hello, Juan.
Hello. All right. So I'm here. I'm pretty good at Legos. I wouldn't say I'm the best expert. There's plenty of people out there who know so much more, but I'm going to try to help you guys out. We could start off with, hey, I bought a big bin. What do I do? Or I see a big bin. Do I buy it or not? And that you're really just going to learn from experience, you know. For example, that first picture should I click it? Okay. This is something that I bought on OfferUp. I had it for $100. And I seen the pictures right away, and I was like, wow, this is a steal, beyond a steal. And then when you look at the next picture, you could see, with experience, you'll know what you're looking at. And just the circled things like that space shuttle, that one right there goes for over $200. So right there, I'm already in the profit. I already doubled my money, not taking into consideration the time and effort and all that. And then that second circled picture, that one's Emerald Night Train. And that one goes for between $300 and $500. So right there, I'm already at over $500 for just those two pieces, and I got everything else still to sort, assemble, and everything. And what I did with this one, what you should do if you do buy one like this, you could leave all the pieces that are like kind of assembled, and then everything else you sort it out. And if we go to the next picture, that's a picture. It shows of how I separate things into bins and just put lids on them. And then when I get to them, I get to it. That big storage case, those are the ones that were like partially assembled that I left together. And then everything else is pretty much by color or specialty pieces, minifigures, doors and windows, tires, things like that. And you could see after you sort it and everything and spread it out, you see for $100, something like this doesn't come along too often unless you're looking for it. And when you do look, I could find Lego all day, every day. In my area, I'm out here in Chicago.
So I had a question. I was thinking about this last night.
Then after this,
crazy interference here. So
yeah,
Legos aren't cheap to begin with. So why do you think someone would sell all those Legos for just $100?
I don't know if you're cutting.
Hey, hold on, Juan. You are frozen. Yeah. There you are. There you are.
Okay.
So did you hear? The question was, Legos aren't cheap to begin with. So some parent bought all those Legos. Why would they sell all of that for $100?
Because usually on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, if you see a good deal, people just sometimes don't know what they got. They're just getting rid of it. It's their kids' stuff, their kids going to school, or they've had it in the basement or in the attic or in the garage, just sitting there. So they have no idea what they have. And those are the ones that you have to jump on and take advantage of, because sometimes if you don't jump on it, it's going to be gone within 15, 30 minutes because there's behind you. And it's happened plenty of times where I've messaged people 10, 15 minutes after I see the post and it's already gone. Somebody's already on their way to pick it up.
Yep.
So you have to pretty much be on it, you know? And that's the thing that's going to come with experience, because if you look at those pictures and you're going to waste 30 minutes looking up the set numbers or trying to figure out what it is, by the time you figured it out and seen what it's worth, it's already gone. Somebody's already got it at their house salivating.
Somebody named Juan Garcia has already got it at their house salivating.
Yeah. And I've left stuff that was too far for me to get to at the time, and it's like, you know what? You have to just leave it because you don't got the time or to go get it and all that. Just leave it for somebody else. And that's the best thing about like this whole business of thrifting. You know, there's plenty for everybody. You just have to find it. You know?
Yep.
And with Lego, it's the same thing. But you do have to figure out all your time and everything, because like sorting this stuff, you know, that's time. You're not making money at that moment, but you have to separate it to make it easier for you to build. Because after you separate it, you could look all these numbers up, you know, like I don't know, what's the next picture that I have up there?
So the next one is, oops.
Oh, this set came with all the instructions, or this lot, and it had 67 instruction booklets. So total eBay value with all these was over $3,000 for my $100 and let's say a week's worth of time of sorting and building all this stuff. I'll take that any day. You're gonna end up with like about $2,000 profit for $100. Then the next pictures I think were just a couple of the pieces that were in there. Like I said, that trailer is like a good, you know, $60, $90. Even that tanker right behind it is another $30. Go to the next. And there's that train. That one's the one that's like 300 to 500. And all the pieces were in there, so you know, I'm fine with that. Even like that, I would have been able to sell it for $200 without touching it. Then the next one, and this is the same thing with this one, is a Facebook Marketplace. This one made it easier for you because with Lego, it's easy because you just have to look up that set number. That's right there. Like for example, I don't know if you could see that. That set number right there, the 21103. That's the one that you would look up. And you can see what it's worth. But like I said, same thing. If you take your time to try to figure out how much these are worth, it's already too late. This one, I was on it, you know. You can see it down there within 51 minutes. And she took her offer. So, you know, I thought that was pretty late. But way back the shuttle that I got on the offer up one. And that one goes for, like I said, over 200. And go to the next picture. And there's that space shuttle. I just built it last night. I finished it up last night. And I still have the minifigures somewhere. This isn't my selling picture. But that's a pretty cool piece. You know?
No, do you have two sets? Is that why there's two books sitting there?
No. Some sets have like 2, 3, 5 instruction manuals. It's all depending on how big the set is.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty big, you know, book. Like I'll show you a really big.
All right. There we go.
This one is 260 pages.
Holy crap.
You know, and some of the books are worth money. This book, you know, you'll get pretty good money for. But I got the whole set to build that I got at a garage sale for $15.
Now, what kind of time is going to take to build that set?
Okay. Like something like this, it took me about an hour and a half, you know? And that's because I have experience. I enjoy building puzzles. Um, I know what piece I'm looking for when I see it in the instruction manuals. Um, for other people, it's going to take a lot longer because they don't know exactly what piece they're looking for. They're looking at a picture, going back to the box, picture, box, trying to figure out if they got the right piece. I just look at the picture and I know which piece I'm looking for. Um, so yeah, so if this took me, an hour and a half, my time's pretty valuable. And then you list it and you sell it for the last one sold for I think 220. I think it's in the next picture.
Okay, hold on a sec. There we go.
Yeah, the last one sold for $220. And that's just like mine with no box, but the instructions and the minifigures. So I'll spend an hour and a half to build that to get 220 all day.
And will you take a picture on your super extra long dining table?
That I will not. Most of my stuff is on eBay, and then I do a lot of Facebook Marketplace, and then I just started doing Instagram, and those Instagram ones go to a Shopify store that I opened, and I pretty much just opened it to tag products on Instagram. I'm still working on it. What's the next picture?
Let me ask you a few questions from the chat first. One of the first ones is from Jenny. Are you better off selling cars and trucks individually, or if you have the whole set? I'm guessing you'd sell the whole set, right?
Yeah, if you have the whole set, obviously. But if you don't got enough time, and this is where it goes down to the time thing, you could split things up like vehicles, cars, dinosaurs, Star Wars pieces, and just bulk them up and sell them as one big whole. Like I did that to a bunch of like fire department stuff that I had, fire trucks, fire boats, and cars, and little firemen, and a firehouse. I just put them all together. I had minimal money in it, so you just throw it up there, $110, and boom, there it goes. That way you don't waste, because to build every little set in there, it's going to take you 10, 15 minutes every little set, and by the time you add it up, your time was wasted when you could have just bulked it all up and got your money and move on and put that money into something else. But to determine like the value, that's the tough part. Like, you want to know if you do have some gold, you don't want to just bulk everything up. So the way to do that would be every Lego piece has a number on it. Like for example, let's say, let me see if I can put this behind paper. Like this piece. Okay. I think it should be the next picture, I believe. Oh no, that's part of the other set. After I build them, I break them down, put them in a thick Ziploc bag. If you do it in a normal generic Ziploc bag, Legos are gonna rip right through it. It'll just shred it. So you get a nice thick one, and you put it in a bag and put it in a bin and wait for somebody to buy it.
I'm guessing you don't buy the thicker bags at the grocery store aisle.
No, I'm lucky. My brother works at a bag place, so some fall off the truck. Sometimes awesome. Bags fall off the truck, So if you go to the next picture, that's the one that I was talking about, the pieces. Yeah, so every Lego piece has a number to it. So that piece that I just showed you right now, that's the number to it. So there's a few different websites that you could go and look up that number. One of the main ones is called BrickLink, just as it sounds, BrickLink.com. Then there's Brick Owl and a couple other ones, Brick Set. But you just punch in that number, that 30366, and all the sets that use this piece in any color come up. And then you could decipher it down to the color that this set comes, or this piece comes in. Like, if you go to the next picture, this piece comes in only these three sets in this color. And sometimes there is, issues like they might be missing a set, but usually it's really reliable. And the only set that has that printed screen on it is that third set at the bottom, the TIE Fighter. And that would be the next picture. So you see that piece right there. It's one of the windshields for the TIE Fighters. And then if you go to the next picture, you get the set number, and then you look it up, and oh, that's what it's going for. Guess what? Maybe I should find the rest of the pieces in this lot that I bought. And then you spend your hour building it, and guess what? You're up another 100. So that's the and this is usually good for like when you find unique pieces, it's not gonna work if you find like a simple red piece like this. This is like in about 10,000 sets. But if you find something unique like that, or something that just looks, weird, you could look it up. Hot air balloon pieces. You're gonna find it by doing that number, because yeah, that one worked out because you only had 3 sets that use that screen.
All right, so now I got a question from Marianne. Do you sell them assembled or just the pieces?
The good thing with that Bricklink site, it'll give you a whole inventory breakdown of which pieces in every set. So if you didn't want to build them at all, you could just go, when you have them all color sorted, you go through that inventory list and you just pick out the pieces. You're like working at a factory, picking out pieces, and then you put them in a bag and you just say it's complete because it's got every piece that's in the inventory, and you don't have to waste your time building it. It looks nicer in pictures if it is built. The nicer the set is, the better chances of it selling, I think, if it looks in a good picture, instead of like that bag picture that I showed. Who wants to see that in their eBay listing? So the more valuable it is, I'll build it. But if it's in the 60 and lower, I'll have my daughters build it. Or, you know what? I'll still build it while watching TV, because I'm the type of guy that enjoys building puzzles and things like that. I think it keeps your brain working. So I don't mind it. But for inexperienced people, you might want to just pick and pull and throw them in a bag, and with experience, just like anything else, it's going to get better.
Yeah, if you can find something that because we all enjoy sitting down at the end of the day and watch some TV with our spouse or significant other, our kids. So if you can find part of our job that you can do while watching TV, so you're still having that family time, enjoying your programs, but you're building Legos. I can list CDs super duper easy and still watch TV and still enjoy the show, enjoy the time with my wife, because I can talk to her, pet the dog, and list, and you can build Legos. So yeah, that's kind of an added bonus to what we do for a living.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, with the sorting stuff, like I think it's the next picture.
Okay, let me go back to the pictures here.
See what we got. Oh, here's another example, like on this one. And this one's a recent sold one that I had, and this is why I got this one up. And this is going to come, like I said, with experience. Anybody that looks at that is going to be like, I have no fucking clue what that is. Excuse my language. I have no clue what that is, But I seen it right away, and I know which house that is. Yes, that's a house. And for 25 bucks, I picked it up right away, And if you go to the next picture, I have my daughters build this one, and then this is the picture that I used for Instagram, and I tagged the product, and by chance, this one sold yesterday. I'm trying to see if I have a bag here. Oh, this one sold yesterday. If you go to the next picture.
Well, before we go to the next picture, I mean, this picture is so perfect. It could be a picture in a catalog, I assume they were, before we talked last night, I assumed these were your kids, but I'm like, that is such a perfect shot. They're playing with it. They got, just well done, sir. Well done.
Those are my 2 daughters, 9 and 6. And yeah, I have them sort, and I pay them to sort the Legos. Then I pay them to sometimes build them. And then I pay them. I tell them, be my Instagram models. And when it sells, you'll get a little bit of money.
I love it.
So for like this house, they're going to get like $20, you know, for building it and taking the picture and everything. And yeah, so she built this whole thing all by herself and everything. And then the little one helped me build the little beach house, which that one still isn't sold yet. But yeah, no, they help me a lot with that stuff, and they enjoy it. You know, like you said earlier, it's family time, and you're working. And that's what it sold for yesterday.
Bam!
And I have it right here, broken down in a bag, ready to ship today. And I got $151 for the $25 that I put in, and another $25 for the girls. So I'll take that all day.
Heck yeah! All right, see what's our next question here. Do you sell the instruction booklets alone? Have you ever found just the books?
Yeah, I'll buy them if they're in a big lot, you know, because you never know what you're gonna find in the future if you are a Lego seller. So if you have those booklets, it's a lot easier to build it, because you can still get the instructions online. You can go to lego.com and get the building instructions, or just Google it, and other people will have them digitally. But it's a lot easier with the book, you know, to see it that way. You don't need your computer. You could do whatever you want. Anywhere you could build it. So yeah, if you find the books in a lot, if they're cheap enough, you buy them. You know, like one time I bought at a garage sale like 100 booklets for $20. I don't know if I had any of those sets, but if I ever run into them, guess what? I might have the book. And I catalog each set, and I have them in a filing cabinet. So when I run into it, I go to the folder, pull it out, and be like, okay, now I can build this thing with the, because a set is more valuable with the instructions. And yeah, with the box, but sometimes boxes are all trash. It's better to just sell it with the instruction booklet. Unless it's a rare set, you know, yeah, everybody wants the box, but you know what? It is what it is sometimes.
So did you play with Legos when you were a kid, or is this a more of a you know, later in life thing?
No, this is a kid thing. That's why I kind of had the experience. We couldn't really afford them when we were young. You know, it was like 5 of us, and we'd just get them at the flea markets, and I would buy them in like those big bags and bins, same as how it is now. Nothing's really changed, but back then I was just buying them to play with them. Because yeah, I never got brand new Legos at any Kmart or Venture or anything like that, because those things are too damn expensive. But garage sales, flea markets, all day. And then I just barely got back into it when I started thrifting again.
And when did you start thrifting again?
Maybe 4 years ago.
Okay,
you know,
so
I do a little bit of everything, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. And like I said, they do sell stuff that you like doing. So I do majority Jordans and shoes and toys galore. But I also take advantage of all the hard goods that everybody leaves. You know, I don't deal with too much clothes. But yeah.
You can sell that shitty hat you're wearing.
You mean the champion hat?
I'm sorry, you're not on the screen anymore. So Kevin wants to know if one lists an unassembled kit, can a stock picture be used for listing the item?
You can, you know, there's no rules against it on eBay, but I like using my own personal pictures, because if you know it's 100% complete, then you could do it if you want. But even if I think my set is 100% complete, I still put 98, 99, because you never know. Just opening up a item that is described. But usually people who are buying it know what they're buying and know what they're looking for. Like, kind of gives a better description of what's missing, and they could see it in the picture. Oh yeah, that piece wasn't there. You know, just my opinion, but
yeah, you know, typically when people are buying stuff, like when I tell you to use, you know, when you're doing a t-shirt picture and I tell you to use the close-up of this part first, if you're buying a t-shirt, you know exactly what a t-shirt looks like, so you don't need the full shirt in your opening photo. But because a lot of people shop on mobile, you want to catch their eye. So the eye is better caught by just showing the graphics. So again, if you're buying the Lego set, you know what you want. You're going there to buy that set. You're going to buy the Death Star.
Right. You're looking usually with Legos, you're looking up that number to find that set. Who's selling it cheaper and, you know, best price and best condition. So there's usually no returns with most of my stuff. Because like I said, I do a lot of toys, vintage toys, old toys, and things like that. And yeah, like I said, with sets, when you do find them at thrift stores, usually you're not going to find them in the box. You're going to find them hanging in bags on that toy back wall. One thing that I should say, when you do sort this Lego, get rid of anything that is not Lego. It's like the death penalty with telling somebody they're buying Lego and then they get Mega Block. Even if it's 10% Mega Block, they're still not going to be happy because they're buying Lego, and there's a huge difference in quality and what people want. And one way to make sure that it's Lego, let me see if I could. I should have got a picture of this. I just thought of it though. I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but on the top little nub, it'll say Lego on top of it. You know, like on all those little studs, it's going to say Lego on top of it. And any other like cheap brand, it'll have something else, or if it's blank and things like that. So you have to make sure that it is Lego when you advertise it as Lego, because you're not going to have happy people if you give them Mega Block.
No, we didn't.
That's a.
We didn't practice this, but you said, you know, when you find the Legos hanging on the wall of the thrift store, hey, look what I found recently hanging on the wall of the thrift store. So let me pull it out of the bag.
Okay.
So it is Lego Architecture Venice.
Let me see. Oh,
Now, I don't know if it's all here, because this is what it looks like right this second. So if you could send your girls over. But I paid.
You do have a pool, so.
What'd you say?
You do have a pool, and they like swimming.
All right, cool. But it was $2.99, and on Amazon, the cheapest one is $80.
Okay. eBay, you're looking probably about 40, 50. Is that 80 new?
80 used.
Yeah, I don't do too much Amazon, so I can't really, you know, comment too much on that. But yeah, for $2.99, that's an easy one, you know. Good thing is those are pretty small sets that you could build them within a half hour, and you could figure it out and see if it's worth it, you know.
Yeah.
How much you put it for. Or you could just count the pieces. They have the whole manifesto of the pieces on the back of that. Did it come with the instruction book?
You know, just nope, just this. Oops.
Oh yeah. Then yeah, that takes down the value.
Boo.
But yeah, if you just go to lego.com, you can get the instructions or that brick link one.
Okay.
And it'll give you what you need and and the whole set, and you count them and you have 69. It might not be completely accurate because sometimes or I should say all the time, they throw in a couple little extra pieces you might lose or might be missing. So it's complete. I counted 69 pieces because complete it might be like 75 pieces. It's hard to explain, but there's always little extra pieces in a brand new set that they throw in there.
Is that in case the kid or the dog eats one?
Number's always completely accurate. Oh. What else do we get?
So we have so Gem and Gift said even the base plates sell well by themselves. I've sold plain green base plates as well as the fancier 3D island base plates.
Yeah. And you know, older sets obviously are more, you know, people want those more because they bring back their childhood. That's a good thing. That's one thing that I do like about what I do. One time I sold a castle from the 80s, and this was a Friday afternoon. This guy messages me, and I had this castle for $175. Including my time, I had maybe about 40 bucks into it. And he messaged me and says, "Hey, my brother's birthday is next Saturday, and he's coming to town to visit me. This is the castle that we built as kids. Is there any way you could get it to me by next Friday?" I'm a week away. I'm like, "I'll put it in the post office Saturday morning if you buy it." So he bought it for 175. I shipped it to him. Then you get the best feedback of, "My brother loved it. It was a surprise. We built it again on Saturday, and this was the castle that we grew up with." Hey, they're happy. I got my $175, and it all goes around over and over.
So where, you and I talked about this last week. Where's the pitfall? Where do people not understand that they're wasting their money is actually not being spent well?
The time. I've seen people where they travel hours just to go get lots, and if they're brand new people in the business, that's not going to be time well spent because they're going to be sorting and sorting and sorting Lego, and then they got to put it all together, and who knows if all the pieces are there. They might be building one set and then realize that 20% of it is missing, so they already wasted that hour trying to put that one together, and then the set's only worth 20-30 bucks. So sure, you could see, like I said, I could go to OfferUp or Marketplace right now, and I could find like 10 different lots of Lego. But a lot of times when they're in those big bins, you don't know what's in there, and you've got hours coming ahead to try to sort that stuff and figure out what it's actually worth. And sometimes it's just better to just buy that bulk if it's cheap enough, depending on how many pounds it is. And around here, it goes between $5 and $10 a pound. And that's without the minifigures. What you should do is, if you buy those big bulks, go through it, take out all the minifigures, sell those separately. With that, you're going to get your money back. They're going to go between, $2, $5 a piece. And if you got a rare one, it could go for even more. And then you could either separate it in color and sell it by the pound in color, because some people only want blues or red for Lego sets at the store. People make their own mocks, and then you just sell it by the pound, or you could just sell it all mixed up, separate it into gallon bags, or like those baggies that I said, like you could get a little bag like this, fill it up with like 2-3 pounds, and sell it for 10, 15, 20 bucks, depending what the rate is and what somebody wants to give you. And it breaks up that whole bin that you bought of 50 pounds for 100 bucks. You should only buy it for maybe $2-3 a pound, unless there's minifigures in it. But it's the time where you lose your money.
Yeah, because people get so excited when they think, all right, so I've learned this new thing, and I see this Lego set 4 hours away, and by the time they drive there and back and put it together, like, ooh, I made 50 bucks, but you forgot you drove for 8 hours. That's not worth your time.
And if you don't value your time at least $25, $50 an hour, you're undervaluing yourself, because time's the most valuable thing in the world, because you can't get more of it.
So we have a couple questions about the minifigures. Have you sold them separately?
Yeah.
And will they sell if they're missing parts, such as like if they were wearing a helmet and they don't have the helmet anymore?
Of course. It's kind of, it's tough. Sometimes there's books that could help you too. For example, like these, and you could Goodwills too. They're just books that you get like $1, get them for $1. And like if you do buy sets, this has like most of the sets from that series, and you can figure out what you have. And sometimes it tells you like some of the minifigures. Same thing with the Star Wars one or a Harry Potter one. And there's other books that are just minifigures. But yeah, obviously if it's missing a piece, it's not going to be as valuable as something else. Like there's vintage spacemen. If the helmet's broken, it drops the value, but the majority of the time the helmet's broken. So if you find one that doesn't and it's a vintage one, you know, it's money. But there's so many figures that you can't really get into too much detail, but it just comes with experience. I still don't know enough of them.
All right, so someone's got a question that I don't even know what this is, but maybe because I don't have kids. What about Bionicles? I have over 50 pounds of part from my 23-year-old son, but no instructions. They're from the early 2000s.
Bionicle, I'm not a big fan of it. They're kind of like robotic ones. Like, where do I have some? Not too many of them. There's some that are worth money, but it's with that I don't have enough experience with it. I just bulk those up, and I usually, if I see them hanging on the toy things, I don't even touch them. It's just not worth my time unless you find one in a box, and I can show you an example. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome my late mother to the chat, who tried to FaceTime me in the middle of me doing a webinar. Hi, Mom.
This is one good Bionicle that I do have.
Oh, cool.
And this is what number is it? Right there. It's 10204. I don't know. Feel free to look it up right now. I haven't even looked it up recently. See what it's going for. I could open up an eBay thing going.
10204 Lego.
Yeah, Lego 10204.
So 370.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Oh yeah.
I think I paid $20 for this one, and it's probably about 80% brand new, still in the bag. And I just keep forgetting about it until somebody just said Bionicle right now, and I grabbed it right from the top. So that's on my list for, I guess, this weekend.
I was saying, now you're going to list it this weekend. Heidi said she bought several 1-gallon bags of mixed Legos. Should she sort them by color?
How much did she pay for them?
Yeah, that's a good question, Heidi. You know, people always post things in the groups. Should I buy this? And they always forget the most important
how much?
bit of knowledge. How much?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, if it's $1, it's a way different answer than if it's $50. So yeah, you always got to say, hey. Now, if it's my mother, we know it's always a quarter, so we don't have to ever ask her that question.
Because I'm assuming if she bought them by gallon, she probably paid, $5, $6, but they're already in bulk, so
she paid $4 a bag.
And if they're just general pieces, I don't see much money in it. Without seeing the pieces that are in there, you're wasting your time sorting them, because what are you gonna get now for color ones? $6, $7? I don't think it's worth your time. You should be the one selling the gallon bags, not buying them.
All right, what do you think about this? I have this laying around too.
I think it's which one do I have? That one I have it somewhere. I think it's like a $30 game.
Oh my God, you're very good, because right now all the souls are $30. You're right on the money.
And what you pay for it? $2?
Yep.
That's 30 with free shipping, or is it plus shipping?
Let me see here. So like this one's over 30 with $20 shipping.
Okay.
That's a lot of shipping.
Yeah.
This one was 40 with $22 shipping. My oh my. So it looks like I could do like 40 free shipping and just knock it out.
I think that one, and there's another one called Creationary, are the two, and the Harry Potter board game are good ones. But any other ones, like, these are some of my mistakes, like smaller game board boxes. This or this Ninjago one. If you get them cheap enough, you'll still make money, but I'm not in the make $10, $15 game anymore. So I usually go for stuff on OfferUp. Example,
that's
DeLorean,
cool.
Back to the Future. Paid $20 for this on OfferUp, and it goes for about $100. And same guy. This is the one we were talking about earlier, the one that I found in the Goodwill case. Same guy that sold me that Back to the Future one had one of these, And he gave me that one and the Sears Tower, win the DeLorean for $20 each. And this John Hancock goes for about $200. And since I found two of them, I kept one for me. Eventually, I'll sell it, you know, because that's a lot of money.
Oh, heck yeah. So Diane's got a great question. When you're listing as 90% complete with the directions, do you list what is missing, or you just say it's about 90% complete?
If I know certain specific pieces are missing, I'll put down what's missing. For example, that tan house that I sold earlier, it was missing some flat pieces for the driveway, and I knew they were missing. So I wrote down, hey, missing these pieces to the driveway, and I actually took a picture of the instructions that show the pieces that were missing and put that down there. But sometimes if I know it's just like the generic pieces, you know, a red or blue or piece like that, I'll put missing a handful of pieces. Please look at pictures, you know, as is. But if I know, hey, TIE Fighter is missing the windshield, you put it down, because you could say, oh, just missing one piece, but hey, it's an important piece. You know, because there's some pieces that you could sell for a lot of money just for the piece. Like old space sets, you could sell one little antenna for $20.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that all comes, like I said, with experience. And then if you could go to Bricklink, like I said, if you look up that number, you could sell pieces individually. So, for example, let's say you have a really valuable set and you're missing like about 20 pieces. You could go to Bricklink, you could order those pieces from somebody and pay, let's say, $10 for them. And those $10 that you spent will up the price of your set by $30, $40. Then you do it. But if it's not going to increase the value of your set, you just sell it as is. So that's where, you know, you have to kind of have to be a mathematician and figure out, is it worth the extra $10 that I'm spending on these pieces and waiting for them to sell it complete, or do I just sell it as is? And, you know, so, but like I said, if $10 brings you another 40, I'm going to do it.
It's kind of like when you're looking at electronics and it didn't have the remote, but if you can get the remote for like $8, $9, $10,
right? You order it up.
Yep.
Exactly. You know, and that's kind of like the same thing with Lego. You have to figure it out. Like I said, but if your set is missing a rare piece or one of the, without the minifigures, your set is almost like just bulk. You know, that's a big, you know, one thing I should tell you guys, without the minifigures, your set drops down in price dramatically. A lot of people that sell pieces on Bricklink go to the stores and buy the sets, take out all the minifigures, sell the minifigures just to get their money back, and then just sell all the little pieces individually in their Bricklink store, and they make their money.
Boy, that's a lot of shipping of little pieces.
Yeah, that's what, if you would see some of these people's storage places, they have like all those little tool drawers, you know, with little nuts and bolts, but it's individual pieces. So, but it's another way of doing the Lego thing, you know?
That's crazy. All right, so here's my biggest mistake ever, and I didn't realize, and this was 2013, so I didn't realize Legos would be or were hot. And so eBay had me go up and speak at an event where they were trying to entice their interns that when they got their, most of them were getting MBAs, to stay with the company. And so they ran out this whole hotel. They had all these, all the ballrooms rented out. And so besides the big overall event, at nighttime, like this one room was the poker playing room, and this one room was the video game room, and this one room was the arts and crafts room, and then there was a puppy petting room, and then they had a sushi chef and a dessert chef, and it was just an amazing event. And so what they were giving away as you left is this item I'm about to show you, and I was one of the last ones hanging around, and an eBay employee said, like, we got a whole box of these. You want any more? I'm like, no, I'll pass. I got my one. So here it is. Super duper rare set. And I was just looking it up, and it's not real big.
No.
and selling for over $300, and I could have just walked away with a whole case of them.
Jesus.
So I haven't,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I haven't listed this one yet, but I will. And I've never opened it or anything.
Oh, you can just send it to me.
Oh, okay.
It's a gift.
So the tip is, if you're leaving an event and they want to hand you more Legos, take as many as you can carry.
As many as they give you.
I remember I was sitting on like a little banquet seat area in a window, and the box was next to me, and they were just stacked in the box, and the event was pretty much over. Everyone went home already.
Oh.
But I'm just like, I don't feel like carrying anything else. I should have carried.
One thing we didn't get into also, I did a toy show for the first time last year, like in September, November, I don't even remember. But this year, there's another one coming up in April that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do like 75-80% just Lego. And one way to do that too is, like I said, with these bags, it helps. You put them in the bag, and then I ordered like these special, the locking tab boxes. And what I do is build the set, make sure it's complete, throw it in the box with the instructions, close it up, and then I'm going to put a label on top of it and just put it on display. And then that way they have no questions. Hey, that set's complete. Take it. You already have it in a box and everything. So that's one way to sell them too, at toy conventions, toy coms, all those toy shows. And you don't have to worry about eBay fees and all that kind of stuff. And trust me, there's so many local groups and shows that do Lego. And like I said, there's guys who know a lot more than I do, but hey, I'm here to try to help.
So what was your biggest Lego flip ever?
Oh, I should have. Damn, that's the one picture I forgot to give you. It was a store display of an animated Darth Vader. The Darth Vader was 19 inches tall, and it was in a case. And it went into it was for, I think, Target stores or Toys R Us. I don't even remember. They only made 200 of them. You might be able to would you be able to find one and put it on a picture of it? Or
yeah, let me look real quick.
Look up Lego Darth Vader display.
Okay.
And it might help if you put 19-inch, but just try Lego Darth Vader display.
And so where'd you find it?
I found it on OfferUp. Somebody had it for $450.
Got it.
And I jumped on it right away. And then I listed it, and within a couple weeks, I sold it to somebody in Canada for $2,200.
All right, there it is.
That's it right there.
Bam, yeah. Google, you can find anything.
So yeah, it had a sensor that if you would pass by it, it would lightsaber would start swinging like this, and then his head would go side to side, and then some LED lights would shoot up from the top, and then it also had a button that you push the button and it'll do the same thing. But that thing was big. Just the minifigure itself is 19 inches tall. So this whole display case, I think, was 24 inches high and 16 wide and 22 inches deep. And thank God a lot of people were interested in Singapore, but I just wasn't going to take the chances. And they balked at my shipping price, and this was an expensive piece to ship. But then somebody jumped in from Canada and bought it, and it went FedEx ground to Canada. So
that is awesome.
It is an awesome piece. It's just too damn big. I don't have a mansion to try to display it. It was just a really nice piece, and $450 to $2,200. I'll take that. So that's the biggest Lego. Well, if you look at that first OfferUp one that I seen, $100 to about $3,500, that's good too. But this one, I didn't have to put any work into it.
Yeah,
that's just pictures, batteries, and it's out.
And this, the Darth is a great example of when you really get to start to know your product. You shouldn't be afraid to spend big money. I mean, I know we all want to be my mom and spend a quarter, But yeah, to spend a few $100s, you're selling it for a few $1,000s.
You're only gonna you have to spend money to make money.
That's right.
You know, you could still find I find plenty of stuff that's, you know, $2, $2.50, $2, $100, but $450 to $2,000, you got to jump on that. You have to. There's no even question about it. You just say, hey, where do you want to meet? I got the money, and you're done. Because you know it's gonna sell.
Oh yeah.
You know that's you know, it's got Star Wars going for it. It's got Lego going for it, and Rare Display going for it. You know, it's gonna sell eventually. And I've held on to it. I could probably sell it in another year for another grand, but we move on. I'm a quick turnover guy.
So Marianne's got a great question. Do you do all buy it now, or are some of these so rare that people fight? Do you do auctions on them?
I do buy it now.
Do you?
Yeah, you kind of see what they're going for, what they went for. I do buy it now. If I want to price it high, I can price it high, and I do best offer on all my stuff anyway. You know, so yeah, price it whatever you want, whatever you're gonna take for it. You know what you have into it. You know how much money, how much time you got into it. Get your money back and then some. But who's got time to sit around with auctions? You know, I only got one auction right now. I only have like about 600 listings, just under that, and only one of them is an auction, and that's that Barbie doll I just showed you earlier.
Yeah.
You know, this girl.
And where'd you find her?
Savers.
That's a lot of blue eyeshadow on Barbie.
$2. Barbie number 3 or number 4. I wasn't exactly sure, so they go for between $150 and $300. So I'm just taking my chances. I got $2 in it.
Was she hanging in a baggie on the wall?
Sure was.
There you go. Just like my Lego Venice on the baggie on the wall.
Don't be afraid to look at stuff that you don't know about.
Oh heck yeah. Heck yeah.
You know?
And I think I've been toying this idea for a while. I want to do a little series where I just really go through every single baggie on the wall for like a week or two and see what kind of weird and good stuff I can pull out to make sure everyone is hitting those baggies.
That's where a lot of my stuff comes from. Yo Gabba Gabba, Little Einsteins, all those. You have to kind of have to know your toys, or yeah, you'll be wasting a lot of time too.
You know, but I got to do a business where you can rent your kids out and they can tell us, those of us who don't have kids, what toys they like. Can I just borrow your kid for a day to go to the thrift store?
We could do that too.
There you go. That's a whole new market. Your kids could be making a ton of money.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions in the chat? I think this is an amazing jumping off point to start looking at Legos on, you know, especially on the apps, OfferUp and Let Go, and Facebook Marketplace. And
stay away from Chicago. No, I'm kidding. There's plenty for everybody. Yeah.
Those in Chicago, you cannot participate.
Yeah, no, if you got questions, message me, Instagram, follow me, whatever.
So what's your Instagram?
La Segundita _ Chicago. So you can see that.
There you go.
It's backwards, but
it's forward to us. It's just backwards to
you. Okay. Gotcha. It's La Segundita _ Chicago. La Segundita means secondhand store in Spanish.
I like it.
So
wait, you're Spanish? I said, wait, you're Spanish? Juan Garcia?
The Juan didn't throw it off?
I thought you were Italian like me, Jason Smith.
Oh. Yeah, if anybody's got any questions, feel free. I'll try to answer them. I know we could go into so much more detail. You know, certain sets, like I said, Harry Potter's hot. You know, although older Harry Potters have gone down in value because they brought out new Harry Potters. Architecture ones are good, and they just vary all. The good thing is the box has if you find one at the thrift store, it has the set number, and that's all you have to look up. The tough part is the bulk stuff, and that's when you have to decide, do I waste my time? Do I have the time to do it? Or is this bin going to sit in there in my garage, and then I'm going to have to sell it to Juan for $20? You know?
Did the movies help? Did they drive people to go buy Legos, you think?
I think so, because it brings, you know, people to the theaters, and they, you know, all their kids like it, and a lot of the good thing is, like, some of those movies have like some characters from older sets, and you know, they just I think it just, yeah, any kind of promotion is good. Anything is good to bring it out. But Lego's just hot right now.
Cool. All right, so yeah, so if you guys got on the box, is it okay to full box to ship or keep it normal?
If it fits in the box and you could like do it flat, you might be able to get away with it, but don't like fold the box in half. Yeah, you can't do that. One time I bought something on eBay from some guy, and he got the box. He flipped it inside out and sent it like that, and just taped it all up. It was horrible because the boxes aren't that strong to ship.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah.
It ended up getting ripped, pieces spewing all over the place. And then the mailman just dumped it on my porch like that. So that was a return. And it was a valuable set, too. It was like a $300 set. You don't do that to a $300 set. You don't even do that to a $20 set. So, yeah, don't fold the boxes, because then it's pretty much useless. They don't want it then. And that's the tough part with some of the bigger sets, to get them in a box that fits. Shipping gets expensive. That's why you have to, same thing, go back to, you have to be a mathematician and figure out, is the box worth the extra shipping and all that? Or you explain it to the person, hey, if you want the box, it's going to be an extra $20. If not, I could ship it and you save $20 without the box. It's all calculations, figure it all out.
Top of the Hill says, if you lot of loose Legos by the pound, is there a certain weight that makes more money, like 5 or 10 or 15?
I think if you sell it online or eBay, I think you got to go like 3-5 pounds. And it all comes down to what you paid for it, too. If you want to do 1 pound at a time on eBay, you're not going to make much per pound. So you have to bulk it up on eBay. That's why per pound, it's probably better to sell it locally. Because, yeah, if you're going to sell a pound on eBay for $7, where's your money? There is none.
Right.
You wasted,
wasted time.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, it depends on how much you got. If you got it for a quarter a pound, okay, then maybe if you want to do it and only get $3-4 a pound of your stuff, then go for it.
All right, cool. Now, so let's do a little homework. Let's see if we all can go out and find something. Doesn't have to be big. But if you haven't looked for Legos before, let's start looking. Hit up your, like I said, hit up your local apps. Look in the toy section of the thrift store. And don't forget to look at the wall of baggies, because that's where they'll hang some of the smaller ones. And
make sure to look at the studs on the actual piece. And make sure it says Lego. Big thing. That's probably one of the biggest things.
You don't want any unhappy customers, so.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, selling for 80 new on eBay too. This Venice one I got for $2.99. So even without my booklet and stuff, if it's complete, I'll get $40-50 for it.
Yeah.
So definitely keep your eyes peeled to the baggy wall. All right, look at that, right at the hour. Boom. That was like we planned it that way.
Blew right by.
It
like
did.
I said, there's plenty more. Feel free to ask questions.
Yes. So thank you, Juan. Thank you very much for being February's Typhoon. I love learning new products, especially ones that I haven't really done much with, but now I am pumped. I'm going to get this listed. I'm going to get this built, see if it's complete, and get that listed. And now I'm on the hunt. I want to find the add-on offer up that says $100 for like 62 sets.
And you could just pay people to do it if you wanted to build it, But like I said,
I got neighbor kids. I'm like, hey, I'll do the same.
But make sure you calculate it into your time and price.
Absolutely. And that's what we're ending on. Pay attention to your time and price. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week with Thrifty Business on Thursday. Aloha.